For the third race of the FORL Cup Series season 3 is going to bring us back to Kansas Speedway, and tonight, as it's been in its seasons before, we're sure to get an entertaining race all the same. Over 35 drivers have entered tonight's session, and qualifying is underway with 8 minutes and 25 seconds remaining on the board, and at the moment, the patriotic paint schemes are leading the way. James Thurston, in his number 4 machine, red, white, blue, and all, is going to be leading the charts as he finds himself on the provisional pole by 67 thousandths of a second. Great to have you all with me tonight. I am, as always, your host for tonight's broadcast, David Kreutz, and as things get on their way, this is our first broadcast after hitting the 1,000 subscriber milestone. We'd like to thank all of our audience individually and as a whole for this incredible achievement, and we hope that we continue to grow stronger and larger as a community. We couldn't do this without any one of you. Thank you all dearly. That's one of the big things we want to get off our chest tonight. That's a huge milestone for the channel. And tonight we've got a lot more headed your way. James Thurston's qualifying run's going to be done, but not everyone's off the table just yet. Sean Rowe's going to be now scored in 4th, and Jackson Carr is going to be in 6th. It's going to be Daniel Krim in position number 12. Oliver Quinney going to be in 13th. New drivers here tonight, and your defending winner, and Andrew Cootie, going to be on pit road right now. Pit road sees the man in 17th in qualifying right there. Andrew Cootie not looking to go out for yet another. It's going to be Wesley Kutznoff done and done. Robert LaPierre on the move as well. Many drivers coming out for their first time tonight in this league. Others coming as returning veterans. So we can look out for all our brand new guys. Brandon McNeil going to be one of which in that number 88 machine. He is going to be one of those guys I'm keeping an eye out for myself. All these new drivers, and we're sure to see some excitement out of all of them. Looks like he's blinking out just a bit. Let's go to a veteran in Michael Cormetis. A podium finish for him last time we went racing at Sonoma Raceway. It was a great run. P3 battled with all the best drivers, and in qualifying tonight, he's looking to get back up there. He's best known as being successful in these mile and a halves, and right now he does not have any timed lap, so we'll see what he can put on the board in this number 25 machine. Michael Cormetis still putting the power down, scored in 31st at the moment. Jacob Wilkerson takes the pole position by 5/1000ths of a second. Wilkerson has been your top rookie this season, already locked into the playoffs. He is a winner from Daytona. So with that being said, maybe tonight could be win number 2. Nevertheless, Michael Cormetis going to be making around the corner all over again. Cormetis in the 25 machine goes to the 8th spot on his first lap. Top 10 bound at the very worst, and he's still got a bit more time to make it better. Let's see what he has in the tank. 25 going around 3 and 4 this time through and out of the corner number 4. Let's see what he's got. He'll come down the start finish line, and Michael Cormetis will be scored in position number 4. Cormetis going to be just outside of your podium position. Good run for him overall. Nice to see 25 is back up front now. It looks like Beaver Serrano, the only driver on the track right now who does not have a timed lap. 5 minutes and 22 seconds remain for the 66, who does not look to have any laps scored at the moment. So the 66 out of the top 35, it looks like, as he will be scored far out of it due to not putting a lap down successfully in his 2 attempts. He's on to his 4th lap now, getting extra practice time. We'll see how this works out. It's his season debut for the 66. We saw him run a few races last season later in the tour in tracks like Talladega, but coming in very early to 66s this time by Fernards. Maybe he's got something that we don't expect as he'll continue to take practice laps around the track. Over 35 drivers have gone on the track. Ross Corlett looking to be the 36th of which, and the 91 machine second place to his teammate and Andrew Cootie. Last time we went racing at Sonoma, 1-2 for CCH Motorsports. A fantastic effort for the entirety of the team there. And now Corlett back on his way, trying to make it happen, and getting another podium finish would be fantastic. The underdog Final 4 driver from last season, and he's already picked up very well so far this year. Second place at Sonoma. It's a very, very skillful track. You need a lot of skill to drive it. Here at Kansas, the playing field's a bit more level, and as the sun sets, we're sure to see the drivers approach this circuit very, very different. You'll see the sun setting already now. It's a yellow haze across the entirety of the track. Bear with us as the night goes on. Should look a little better on your end by the end of the day. 100 100 laps, 150 miles, and at this point, we've got a lot of drivers done with their qualifying run. So without further ado, let's see your starting grid for the second annual Tornado Alley 150 here in the FORL Cup Series Race 3. Sees your Race 1 winner back to the top of the board in Jacob Wilkerson with a 31.019 pole position inside row 1 next to James Thurston in second, and Max Molina is going to be position number 3 with a 31.049. Michael Cormetis finished third last week and a start fourth tonight in that 25 with Ethan Workman in the fifth spot and Sean Rome position number 6. James Bomar in the 020 machine going to be scored in 7th, and right next to him Jackson Carr looks to be substituting for season 1 champion Kyle Freeman. Carr is going to be right there with a 31.177. Chance Parker going to be position number 9, and Vincent Guecci going to round out the top 10 in the 09 machine with a 31.233, only to be bumped off by Ross Corlett. Corlett puts it 9th. That's going to move Chance Parker into 10th, and then we see Vincent Guecci in 11th. Going to be Tanner Prestige, position number 12, with Henry Kaloff in 13th, and Alex Jones back for the first time this season in 14th. It's been a big substitution run for Alex Jones, with Jay Becker absolutely wheeling that machine at Daytona and Sonoma. 15th, going to see Daniel Krim return for the first time this season, and Oliver Quinney's going to be 16th in the 073. Jordan Herring back as well in the 97 and 17th, and it's going to be Zach Todruff in the 54. 18th with a 31.3 just on the dot. Going to be Kenny Reel, 19th spot inside row 10 with a number 11 machine put there with a 31.302, and then to round out your top 20, going to be Joseph Lewis, who's got himself a 31.327. Let's go from there. See Robert LaPierre going to be 21st with Andrew Cootie 22nd, Brandon Redford 23rd, and Joe Reinhardt 24th. Then Wesley Kutznoff in 25th. It's going to be now Tyler Coleman 26th, and Brandon Rismiller 27th with Thomas Johnson position number 28, and Dustin Pickle 21 machine. He's going to be in 29th inside of row 15 next to his teammate in Bryce Hamrick, 30th spot with a 31.487. Then we are going to see the final drivers here. Joey Stone going to be 31st with Michael Deitch in 32nd, and Keegan Doherty going to be 33rd, Connor Zola 34th, Dylan Poss in 35th, Brenny McNeil in 36th, and that rounds out your starting grid, at least with those who have taken times. We went overboard. We got more drivers still. Ethan DeWeldy, Beaver Serrano, Brody Tolstaika, and Joaquin Stewart as your admins. So we have just about 40 drivers registered for this race. I think that's the first time I've outstayed my welcome on the music here. That's how many drivers have came out to the biggest attended race of the season so far. 3 rounds in, Kansas Speedway will bring us over 40 drivers attempting to race tonight, and our race control is there as well. As it stands, qualifying all but over. Joey Stone, one of the final guys to take a time. So it's Ross Corlett. Corlett able to bump his way into that top 10. Nice for him, and 37 seconds still remain, but nobody's on the track. So we got a little bit of time here, and it's Jacob Wilkerson, the top man on the board in this qualifying session. That's the number 43 machine. For those who do not know, he has been on a tear so far as a rookie driver in this league. Number 43 won at Daytona, got it done with his teammates for PBR. Sonoma ran very well, but there was a few incidents involving front runners, such as the run of James Thurston. He was leading the way and eventually got taken out. Now, looking for redemption, your front row is Max Molina, your defending winner at Kansas. He's there in 3rd, and Michael Cormetis is going to be there in 4th. So you got a lot of very aggressive drivers, hard charging all the way to the end here. And now we're getting ready to see them on your starting grid. The drivers are going to populate it, and we'll be ready to get on our way. There's James Thurston, and now there's Jacob Wilkerson. Your front row is ready to go battling it out. 100 laps here in Kansas Speedway. That's not a lot of time, but the mileage would tell you a different story. 150 miles here, and there will be no breaks unless we need a yellow flag. So don't expect these guys to be stage racing all too much. They'll be going for the checkered flag if possible, whenever possible. 100 laps, mile and a half, and the playing field, as we mentioned, it's been leveled. These drivers know the ovals much better than the roads. It's an oval league for the most part. We're using NASCAR stock cars, so that's almost a given. But don't doubt these drivers who you see in the back of the field qualifying might not be their forte. Joey Stone actually jumped up to 13. That's a big jump from the last second we checked on it. But guys like Dylan Poss, Keegan Doherty, Michael Deitch, he's an NASCAR College Series driver in this previous season. Many good drivers mired in the back right now. That's just how many we've got. None of them are out of contention oh so early. So I'm going to keep my eye on those drivers as well as the front runners, as I think we all will. The iRacing official pace car's only got one job to get on its way when the first two drivers are ready, and the rest of the field will be soon. Joaquin Stewart, we're not going to be waiting on. He's race control for the night's event. Bryce Hamrick, going to be one of the drivers who's not there just yet. Thomas Johnson, who's in the 48 machine, looks to be there, but Oliver Quinney is 263 machine of Henry Kaloff, coming off a very strong run. Don't count out Kaloff. Very, very impressive top 10 performance at Sonoma, able to battle with the best of them off strategy, and that's one thing we might see as track conditions change, and as the sun sets, we might just see ourselves a strategy race here in Kansas. I wouldn't rule it out just yet. Nevertheless, it's going to be the iRacing official pace car that gets on the way, and we are ready to go racing in just a pace lap's time. As the field runs out of the starting grid, we've got ourselves a big group to work with. Andrew Cootie dropping to the back of the field, looks like, in that number 9 machine. He'll be there with his teammates at the end of the day. Hopefully, they'll all be up in front. We've got ourselves the final batch of drivers before we get this thing going, and it is Jacob Wilkerson who leads the way. My big takeaways about what we've seen in the week leading up to this one are track conditions. They're going to be a huge factor. Day to night, and it's almost night already. Shadows have already been turned off on our end in iRacing just to make sure that the night sky and its effects don't ruin the visuals of the broadcast. And it's also going to change the way these guys drive. The handling will be much different. The tire wear might change. Fuel runs should be the same, but one thing we got to keep an eye out for is aggression. This is the first mile-and-a-half race of the season. We went to Daytona. That's a super speedway, much different, but it is an oval. If there's one thing that is the same, the Tornado Alley 150 getting ready to shake things up. It's Jacob Wilkerson and James Thurston leading the way. Let's get at it this time. Bye. It's the green flag for the first time here in Kansas Speedway. As they come down the line, this time through, going to be Jacob Wilkerson, but the first yellow flag is out on the night already. Big time shuffle back of the field. Let's take a look. Brandon McNeil gets away, but Beaver Serrano does not, and I think this one began very early, and I think it began with Ross Corlett. So let's take a look all throughout. Yellow flag has fallen. We've got ourselves a retiree or two already. Time to take a 30-second instant replay and find out what just happened here in Kansas. Taking a look back already, we're under replay, and you can see the drivers in the front of the pack got dicey, and it was up in front where it all began. Ross Corlett looks like he got shaken all out of sorts, and he was down the apron. Then we see Daniel Krim gets in the wall, and the 11 tries to split it, and that he does, but there's going to be a few drivers taken out at the end of the day. Big time contact, the number 045, not going to be caught in it, but it was a big hit for Brandon Redford. Michael Deitch able to just avoid it. There's Brandon Rismiller. Rismiller's involved in the wreck, and so was Brandon Redford right there. The Hooters machine gets caught up, and now damage on the front end. Dustin Pickle, no luck on the ovals. Another first lap wreck for him, and now he's caught up in the back of the field, scored in 34th. Not a good start for these drivers, but we should be able to go from there without much an issue. Pit road occupied already by some of them as we take a look back live on FTN. Here's the 01 machine, and the 43 remains out on the circuit. No trouble up front. It's Wilkerson, then Molina, then James Thurston. Just to recap how this wreck went down, it was a big shuffle for the 91 machine of Ross Corlett. Corlett is good right now. He'll go down to pit road nonetheless. That then eventually got involved with the drivers on pit road, including Wesley Kutznoff, Dylan Pass in the number 12 machine with a brand new paint scheme, Brandon Rismiller, Dustin Pickle, Beaver Serrano, and Brandon Redford. So big time shuffle immediately as the race gets on its way. First lap, first yellow. And just like that, we've got ourselves an exciting start to this one. Choose rule going to be in effect. And as you see James Thurston take it down below the cone, that's what's going on. We're not going to be using the start-finish line for our choose rule here in the FORL Cup Series. We are going to be using the transition zone from the exit of corner number 2 down to the backstretch. It's a bit different for most leagues. Bear with us. What we're going to do is send the lower line, who's going to start in the inside under that cone, and we're going to send the high line as we try to get a better look at the drivers in the back of the field as they go through. The high line will be sent above that cone. Let's watch Dylan Post in action to give an example for all our viewers. And Dylan Post, the number 12 machine, for some reason does not have his paint scheme loaded. We're going to try to fix that right now. I'm sure he's not going to be all too happy about that. He's got a beautiful paint scheme to show you all. Red, white, blue, and all. Let's get that on the broadcast here. I'm not quite sure why it isn't. Now, Dylan Post's paint scheme should be loading in. There's a faint trace of a spec map. Nothing more when it comes to the paint scheme. So keep an eye on that. We're refreshing our paint schemes right now. It's a beautiful design. Red, white, and blue. And as you saw, he went above the cone. So he would be starting on the high side in the case that, of course, he was going to be getting back to the group immediately. Now, as we look back to the front group, your leaders, still single file. I don't believe we will be heading to a restart just yet as we wait this one out. Drivers still getting locked and loaded. DeWeldy, the first driver to retire, and it looks like from there, we also lost Oliver Quinney. James Thurston hits the cone once again. He's not too happy about that cone. He's one of the drivers in favor of just letting it play out with the automatic restart system where, you know, the first driver goes to the inside, the second guy goes up top. So he's not really the happiest guy about what they're doing with the whole restart situation, but he's not the driver setting the tone, setting the rules of the league, so he'll have to abide by it. But I think in protest, he'll be hitting that cone every lap as we go by. Keep an eye out for the number 4, always a contender. And he was phenomenal at Sonoma while he was able to show it. Pole position by almost a full second, led the first 15-odd laps, then got caught up with a wreck with Michael Gregory, and that's what took him out of the race. He wasn't able to get back up front. He had major damage. iRacing told him it was too much. He'd have to go to pit road and fix it. That's what caught him out of this event, or at least the last one. Now he has a big hole in points to dig back through, as now we'll be ready to go double file in just a moment. Looking back, Ethan Workman just joined the session 5 laps down, so he'll be back on the track to make it 36 still racing. However, he scored in 38th. We'll keep up with that as the night goes on. Every driver getting back up front here, and going back to Brandon Rismiller, should be ready to go racing this time by. Up front, Jacob Wilkerson will dive down low. He'll let Max Molina take it from there, and the rest of the field flies in. Joey Stone goes high. Sean Rowe going to go low. Looks like the James Bowman machine goes high there. And take a look at that. James Thurston's in trouble. I think he got penalized. James Thurston, he has dropped back there. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but it looks like that is going to be a penalty. If anything, he's going to drive back up there. He'll be starting next to Chance Parker and Zach Todriff now. James Thurston looks to be showing the black flag, and we will be ready to go back green this time through. As the drivers are getting their paint schemes refreshed, it is Jacob Wilkerson who is still with the STP design. Shades of Richard Petty. He's been the king so far. Let's see if we can hold on to the restart once again. It's your first of the night. Let's go back racing here in Kansas. It's a good start there for the Jacob Wilkerson machine up in front. As you see, drivers like Michael Cormetis in trouble already. Big bobble. James Thurston going to make contact as well. Michael Cormetis loses time. He'll stay on the high side. Xander Prestige backs it into Zach Todriff. But no hesitation from these drivers. The aggression levels, they are unrivaled right now. They're all going at each other back and forth. Going to be 3 wide. It looks like Joey Stone going to go down low in it. There's Alex Jones in the middle of the mist. And we got ourselves aggressive racing up front as Bomar makes it by. That's your first green flag lap. Jacob Wilkerson is the man that led it. His teammate not too far behind, and Sean Rowe stays right there with him. Bomar going to be in the Flying Pegasus tonight as his paint scheme just loads in. Now it is going to be Wilkerson with a battle. Sean Rowe down to the inside line, and two 7-time throwbacks in Dale Earnhardt and Richard Petty up in front. The Earnhardt machine going to try to intimidate his way down the lead. 99 goes for it. He would try to make it happen. It looks like it will stick, and he's got himself a lead, but only by about a nose. Nose and all, he's going to be the top spot, at least for the moment. Jacob Wilkerson not too far behind, stays right there. They'll be side by side down the backstretch, and it looks like the 99 nevertheless gets the better of him. Jackson Carr going to be in a brand new Burnt Rubber Racing warehouse machine. He is now scored in fourth with Vincent Guecci in fifth, and it's a 09 machine of Vincent Guecci now working down low on Joey Stone. Joey Stone and Jacob Wilkerson have been the star rookies of the season so far, and Joey Stone right now running in fifth, looking to get his first top 5 finish of the season. The number 8 machine for Kick Streaming back up front once again, and 10 laps in, he's far from done battling. He was able to battle very hard for a strategic victory in the top 5 category, at least as we see someone lose it all. That's the 48 machine looking way on back. That's Thomas Johnson. Johnson's in trouble. He locks it down. He saves it. Should be able to keep it going. Nevertheless, 48 machine going to be the man in trouble that time by. Let's take an instant replay, find out what happened to Thomas Johnson, and it looks like he's going to get all turned off the final section there on turn 2. The transition catches Andrew Cootie out, and in turn, Andrew Cootie makes contact with Thomas Johnson. The bumper thumper gets a bit of a tap, and we've got ourselves a spinner indeed. Zach103, thank you for stopping by. Great to have you here. It is a big hit for Thomas Johnson. As we look up front, it's Sean Rowe now leading from Max Molina and Jacob Wilkerson. Teammates 1, 2, 3, and 4. Jackson Carr has made himself known as well. He's now looking to get up in the podium fight. Joey Stone, the independent driver, in the top 5, but he's being battled with another PBR driver. That's the man in the 020, James Bomar. Bomar always a contender in these mile-and-a-half situations, and it looks like this situation is one of aggression. You can see James Thurston goes down low once again, trying to make it happen. Bomar blinks, no big issue. James Thurston, we're still watching this battle. The number 4 machine is single file right now, as is the good majority of the front pack. Patience will be a big key for some of these drivers in the middle of the pack, but up front, you've got to go, 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 at least for the moment. As you can see, the number 99 has been able to put the pedal to the metal and grab a lead from his rookie teammate. That's the experience coming in, maybe to get him that advantage. Max Molina trying to go back up front as well. Molina has yet to win this season. Andrew Cootie, a winner last week, and just a few weeks ago, it was Jacob Wilkerson at victory lane. PBR trying to make it a 66% win ratio. They're 50-50 this season. They love to be dominant. Now they got 3 chances up in front. They just don't have to blow it. Rather, they just don't want to. Look on back, it's Zach Todriff in a big battle, and that's going to be a huge battle indeed. Zach Todriff goes down low, makes it 3. He'll try to take 2 spots at once. He's got a shot, and it looks like he will take it. 54 machines now in it, and he will take it down low. Almost gets a spot from the 97. That's Jordan Herring now inside the top 10. Remainder of your field still battling fiercely. Nobody here appears to be done just yet, even going down to guys like Brandon McNeil and Brandon Rismiller. The fight is still on as it's Dylan Poss in the wall that time. It looks like the 01 machine will be able to take it through. That's Brody Tostaika. So Tostaika on the move once again. He's a substitute driver for that 01 operation. Now, it looks like he's got a chance to battle for the top 25 spots. Up front, though, it is going to be Sean Rowe with his teammates in Molina and Jacob Wilkerson all together here. They're driving the wheels off these things right now, and it looks like there's no stopping any of them. It's going to be Rowe in that first spot. Max Molina not too far behind, and Jacob Wilkerson, who was your pole sitter, now laying a bit further back in the third spot. Now, for Jacob Wilkerson, he's had a great run so far, but you can see he's starting to slip. 16 laps in, he made a statement lap, got the pole position. He's been an ace so far this year, but it looks like right now his teammates with the experience are getting the better of him. James Bomar actually going to be able to go by him, and Bomar Now, looking to get into that podium spot. The experience that the number 43 has in this league in particular, it may be lacking, but he has driven against a lot of these guys before in different situations or different leagues. So I don't believe an experience thing is the issue. It just might be the way he burnt off his tire in this first run. The 43 might have expected a few more yellows given that first lap incident that we have not seen a repeating act of. Repetition and incidents thankfully has been limited so far this season. The most yellow flags we've seen in a race has been one apiece so far. All three races this season have all seen their one and only yellow so far. This is the only race with the potential to see more, of course, as we're only 18 laps in. Now, Zach Todger from the back bumper of Vincent Guecci, and look who's here again, fighting for the top 10. It's Henry Caloff in the Circle B diecast machine, and he told me, and actually was told through another driver, Michael Cormetis, this information. The 63 right now is giving a bit of a tribute to the driver who got it done in ARCA this season at Daytona. That was Greg Van Alst in the 35. He's a fan favorite now. He's one of the underdog teams, has a history in ARCA that goes back over 20 years, but he hasn't been full-time in quite some time, of course, besides the 2022 and 23 seasons. Funding has gone low for the man, that number 35 in the real world, but he's got a fan, of course, in the 63. He's got many fans in the real world, so tonight, looking to pull through for Greg Van Alst, it's Henry Caloff, a big fan of that 35 operation, hoping the former ARCA points leader can go back to the racing in full time, in due time, sometime soon. Let's look at the time that is now. Lap 20 out of 100. Max Molina leads the way, and he's got himself a big bunch right behind. James Bomar going to be in second, and it's going to be Sean Rowe in third. Jacob Wilkerson now in fourth. It's all PBR guys, but they switch their roles once again. Molina, your defending champion, is your leader, and it looks like he's got a chance to keep it. Now, James Bomar, though, going to take it to the apron. The big thing about Kansas Speedway compared to other mile-and-a-half tracks, it is that apron. It is very useful if you want to cut down distance and maintain speed. It's the best of both worlds for all drivers involved. Bomar's going to wash way up high. Max Molina gets a chance to slide right back. It's a switchback maneuver. Nice one indeed. And Jordan Herring now looks to be in a bit of trouble that time by. It's a false alarm. He's still fighting fiercely for 10th. Up in front, though, it's Molina who's got himself a rear view mirror filled with James Bomar. Take a look on back. Now you don't even see Bomar in frame. That's because it's the James machine leading. It's the 020 down low. Max Molina gonna let off that time by. He'll try to get him off exit. It looks like he's got a shot, but Wilkerson does too. James Wilkerson with a massive run right on the back bumper. He stays there, but now James Thurston down low. Keep an eye on that number 4 machine. Chrome number and all. It's now coming through. James Thurston, the time is now. And the number 4 machine's going to get into the podium picture as well. Looking at this frame, we've got 7 drivers battling for lead. Going back to Joey Stone, the fan favorite that number 8 machine has seemed to be all season long, so he would love to get a victory here tonight. He started his campaign in this league with a very aggressive approach. Top 5, he just missed it last week. Daytona able to come home with a solid top dozen finish, but now he's really in winning contention here with a small pack of drivers, the best in the business for the most part, known very well. It's a lot of PBR drivers, but James Thurston and Joey Stone are the independents that are holding down the fort as they come up on their first few lap drivers of the night. Thomas Johnson might be one of which, but Tyler Coleman's in trouble. Coleman gonna go down a pit road this time by an immediate escape from the track, and the 51 down and in sees the yellow flag fall for the second time tonight. And in addition, Jackson Carr, big trouble with Joey Stone. And the leaders have seen an issue for the first time tonight. Let's take a look on back and find out why this happened. 3 wide, Jackson Carr turned up with Joey Stone and Sean Rowe, and they will end up in the wall. Jackson Carr ends up in reverse. Heartbreaker for both of these drivers. Does not look like major damage at the very least, but both drivers involved big time. Joey Stone, the 8, and Jackson Carr, who is in the 55 machine tonight. As we look back up front, he's right there, back on his way. And the 55 looks to be good on the move. James Bomar, the driver who leads the way 25 laps in. No worry for him so far. His teammates, he's got them all around him. except for James Thurston. Thurston, the only independent driver in this equation, and he's been running very strong so far for Power Smash Infinity Speed Motorsports. Now, he does have a team, but we say he's independent because he does not have any teammates around with him. That's the exact opposite scenario for a guy like Bomar. He has a lot of teammates with him just in this frame. Wilkerson, for one, gets a smash from his other teammate, Max Molina. Sean Rose, another guy in that mix. And now, as they all come through once again, we got ourselves our first race on pit road. Let's take a look and see what's going on. And as they all come down and in, James Thurston gets the driver who leads them all through. Let's see whether or not he wins that race on pit road. It looks like right now he's got a good opportunity to do just that. Number 43, though, going to be there as well. Let's see who's got the runoff. 4 tires and fuel is the recipe for all these drivers. And as they get on their way, James Thurston beats Sean Rowe and James Wilkerson off pit road. Then it's going to be Sean Rowe right there with Michael Cormetis, Max Molina, then Zach Todriff, Alex Jones, not to mention the driver in that number 11 and Kenny Reel, Ross Corlett there in the picture as well. All these drivers coming out at the very same time. And just like that, we have ourselves our first race off pit road. James Thurston is the driver who wins it. And how about that start for the number 4 machine? James Thurston working his way up throughout the field. A lot of contenders all around him. But now, number 21 machine of Dustin Pickle, the only driver ahead of him. Dustin Pickle will drop down low. Looks like he's going to be done leading the race. Just like that, we got ourselves another driver at the top of the board. Number 4 machine in James Thurston. Now we're seeing something on our screens, watching it for ourselves that we didn't expect for tonight. It looks like YouTube is giving us some mid-roll stream ads that we did not expect to see. So we'll work on that as the week goes on. We're testing a brand new feature in terms of our YouTube partnership. That's the reason you might see ads throughout the broadcast. As you know, we don't try to bring ads into our broadcast unless absolutely necessary. Looks like you might get some tonight, so we'll tweak that feature as it goes on. Be sure just to skip them if you get them. We'll try to make sure only skippable ads run in the future, if we can narrow that down in specific. It's going to be Jackson Carr running for Zach Todriff off of pit road that time through. But James Thurston is your leading driver overall. James Bomar not too far behind, and Jacob Wilkerson right there in third. We still have 36 drivers racing, going back to the man in that number. Well, 073, Oliver Quinney, he just passed by your screen, and he's back on the way, and he is 2 laps down as it stands. Still many drivers in contention. Your most recent yellow flag brought out by Joey Stone and Jackson Carr. Joey Stone still on pit road. Jackson Carr looks to be back on the lead lap, and Sean Rowe, able to avoid that one, is in 4th. He's right behind his teammate in the 43, and he looks to be right behind another teammate in James Bomar, just ahead. Make it 28 laps for James Thurston this time by. It's going to be that number 4 machine taking him through in the Tornado Alley 150. Has almost seen its third of the way marker. A quarter through and then some. It's the number 4 machine leading this one, and he's had a great run so far, but maybe more to be desired. He was not able to get the lead on a green flag run. He's got a lot of drivers to contend with as soon as we get right back at it, so definitely, he is not out of the hornet's nest, but this could be a time to prove he's got the pace to escape him. Now, Bomar drops down low, but James Thurston is looking to go lower. He'll drop behind the cone, and he'll be good to go. Now, going to be 2 drivers going up high at once. Sean Rowe going to be second on that inside line. Rest of your field coming through at once. Chance Parker goes up high. Michael Deitch looks to choose to go down low, and Vince Iguechi does as well. Bit of a shuffle down there at the choose cone line. It looks like we've got a throwback to the number 88 machine of Dale Earnhardt Jr. That is Brandon McNeil, one of your brand new drivers this season. Jackson Carr, not too far behind. Joey Stone, now in the lead lap. He has scored in 31st. He's dropped 20-odd spots back from where he was before the yellow flag in the 7th position. Look up front, though. It's going to be James Thurston leading them down in this time by. Let's get back to action. Thurston leads them, and the rest of the field's going to stay right with. A huge wreck. And just like that, we've got ourselves a yellow flag. Instant replay shows you. Huge incident indeed. Dustin Pickle caught up with it, and so was Keegan Doherty. How about the driver in the number 12, Dylan Pass? Now, we see more drivers retire than what we expected before. Huge hit, and the 21 gets the brunt of the load as we go back live 31 laps in. Another major incident, and the remainder of the field stays intact. 31 laps in, it's James Thurston, the man who leads the way. Not too far back on him, going to be Sean Rowe. 31 laps in indeed, and that's our third yellow flag. More drivers retiring after that one. It's Tyler Coleman now the 35th man out. It's going to be Brody Tostaika scored in 36th. Brandon Redford scored in 37th, and Ethan Duelli now in 38th. So with that being said, attrition coming into play, and more drivers getting involved with an incident as James Thurston opts to go down below to pit road, or does he? Fake out move, and it's going to fake us out as well. He'll stay on the track, and he'll keep the rest of the field right there with him. And a huge wreck that was. Another one involved, and for these drivers in the FORL Cup Series, you got to avoid having those. There is no fast repair in this league, and with an incident like that, you are not going to be able to return to form. Competing at the very least simply cannot happen, at least unless you get very lucky. So now, many drivers with damage in the back of the field will have to choose whether or not this race is done for, or if they'll keep on going, trying to make something happen in the back of the pack. Right now, it looks like we still have over 30 drivers competing, so you haven't missed all too much. Many drivers with a chance, many laps to see which driver comes out with that win. Thurston's got himself a lead nevertheless. Going to be James Bomar not too far behind. Sean Rowe still in third. And the big surprise so far, I'd have to say, would be Kenny Reel. Number 11 machine, Jordan design as always, but a brand new look for the number 11. And Kenny Reel's got himself just outside the top 5. Now, looking to get that top 5 spot, he's avoided the wrecks. He's gained a lot of spots. And for a driver who started outside the top 15 to make his way in so quickly, it is evident he's been driving this thing the right way, especially if he wants to come home as a winner. The 11, he told me before this race got started, he felt he had a great shot to get it done last time we went to Kansas last season in the first Tornado Alley, which was a shortened race, 112 miles that came out to instead of 150. He thought if there was no final caution, he'd have a chance to take it home to victory lane. Tonight, he's hoping to make that happen. He's quick so far, but there's a lot of work to be done until the victory is all sealed up. And right now, the night sky is almost in full effect. The stadium lights, they're already on here in Kansas, but the sunshine, there's still a lingering effect. So 33 laps in, next time by will be 34. We've made it a third of our way through with 3 cautions. Maybe we can go from there and get a few more racing laps in instead of yellow laps. The choose cones in effect once again. Thurston goes high. Switchback, it will take Sean Rowe down low. James Bomar going to stay high with him, and the rest of the field comes down and in. Vincent Guecci going to do an aggressive drop down to the bottom. Connor Zola going to stay right up there high. Looks like Zola's right in front of Henry Kaloff. Zach Todriff there as well. Joey Stone gaining from 31st up into 20th on that last run. Jackson Carr from 30th up to 18th. So huge gains for your drivers in the most recent caution until that point. Now they've been able to make some more time up. We're going to see a different racing groove maybe develop here and now as the pace car drops in all over again. Let's get back to the racing. James Thurston leads the way, and we're back on our way for restart number 3. Thurston going to be able to hold that lead for the moment. Sean Rowe not too far behind. Look at the big hornet's nest we got right in the back of the field. Alex Jones still racing. He's got damage on the side. We'll see how much longer he can last. Look at that. We got 3 wide all over again. Xander Prestige pushed up high, in trouble. Will lose a few spots just like that. Thankfully this time he does avoid an incident, so he'll be good to keep on going. But he is not good when it comes to his situation. He's now up on the high side, locked up. He's got drivers flying right by him. Joey Stone now enters the top 20, getting by that number 1 machine. And it's going to be Xander Prestige wiggling off the backstretch that time by, almost in a bit more trouble, as Connor Zola now runs with the number 8 side by side down the back as well. Looking up front though, Thurston has no yellow battle. We'll keep an eye out throughout the middle of the field as they're still as close as they can be. Michael Cormetis sees himself right ahead of the battle between Jordan Herring and Kenny Reel. Now it's going to be 2x2 with Andrew Cootie and Joe Reinhardt just outside of the top 10 for certain. Andrew Cootie, who is not qualified well tonight, is now making his way through. He's already winner locked in the playoffs, and he's going to get wiggled again. He'll send Joe Reinhardt down. He's going to be able to save it for now. No, he'll end up in the wall, and Andrew Cootie is in trouble again. Now it's a smoke show. Now Zach Charger's in trouble, and we got ourselves another yellow flag. Robert LaPierre involved, and a huge hit for Zach Todriff, namely the 54, who brings out yellow number 4. Huge wreck. Once again, instant replay will show you what happened. Andrew Cootie slides up to the top. 54 tapped by Jordan Herring, sent up to the wall, gets Jackson Carr, and Chance Parker drops down. We see Alex Jones. That taps the Robert LaPierre machine. Huge hit indeed. And the Paintbrush 54 machine, he is used up quite badly and now finds himself in 25th. James Thurston still leads. Few more drivers involved in a few more incidents. 37 laps in out of 100, and we've got ourselves a huge problem for these guys. Another yellow flag, another very brief run. Thomas Johnson down to pit road right now. He's got Joseph Lewis up on the high side, still going. And we begin to wonder, will we see drivers retire from this race because of the damage they are accumulating? Robert LaPierre, this is his first incident, he should be fine. But drivers like Andrew Cootie have been involved in a few already. He'll come down to pit road to solve some more issues on that car. And he is now trucking around the circuit with more damage than before. Jordan Herring, similar situation. Brandon Rismiller still on pit road. He's going to come in once again for an incident, and so is Dustin Pickle. Now, Jackson Carr looks to retire for the night. His day is over. And we got more drivers in trouble as well. We'll keep an eye out for those who cannot keep on going. iRacing may signal to these drivers there's a bit too much damage to compete, and there is a possibility that happens, and it could end some drivers' nights prematurely as well. 38 laps in, we'll go back to the racing at lap number 40, and hopefully from there, we'll get some more green flag racing in. Is James Thurston, the top man of the board, up in front of James Beaumar in second and Jacob Wilkerson there in third. Sean Rose going to be fourth, and Ross Corlett rounds out your top 5. Max Molina going to be in 6th, and Michael Cormetis is in 7th, with Kenny Real 8th and Joe Reinhardt in 9th. Jonathan Leisure in chat, great to have you. Awesome to have all the fan support here tonight. If you've enjoyed the action, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Over 1,000, but we'd still love to have you. And if you do, of course, support our content, or if you'd like to support us even further, join the FTN Membership Club. Prices starting as low as $2.99 for all access to the channel and bonus perks. If you'd like to join, click the join button below. We'd love to have you as a member on this channel. And now James Thurston sees it's 1 lap to go. It's been his race so far. When he got that lead, I was a bit skeptical, I'll admit, but it looks like ever since he's been able to put down the power and stay in the top spot quite well. No other driver has been with them at the moment, and it looks like he will go to the choose cone and lead him through once again. He'll go down low. He'll take Sean Rowe with him. Jacob Wilkerson could be the first man to start up high. It has become a major guessing game to see where these guys go. It's now one of the biggest strategic things they have to worry about. 39 laps in, the more pressure put on these final few segments of the choose cone and what have you, the more we see exciting racing up front, but the back of the field has not calmed down just yet. Dustin Pickle's in trouble. Huge hit there, and he's going to go for a wild ride. Dustin Pickle, another incident, and this time under yellow. I'm not quite sure why. He'll get back on his way, but the 21's in trouble. And now, as we come back to the green flag, the field is not yet sorted out, but James Thurston leads him for the 4th restart of the day. Thurston once again gets that jump. It looks like for now the meta for him has been to just get that jump and wait for the yellow flag to resort the field. Don't have to worry all too much about your long run pace right now if you're that number 4. Maybe it will come into play this time through. We've seen a lot of drivers involved with wrecks. They don't want to see any more. We only have now 33 drivers racing. We only have a total of 26 on your lead lap going back to Dustin Pickle. So guys are being plucked off right now, going back throughout the field. They're not racing as aggressive, but one driver making one bad move could cause a problem. As it stands, it looks like none has been caused, but up front, they're pretty close. Joey Stone's up to 13th. He's gained a lot of time. Unlike Jackson Carr, who was involved at an incident with them, he has continued to stick through it and keep himself in the race. Looking good so far for the number 8 machine as he now battles with Michael Cormetis, and it looks like now Cormetis trying to work with the man right in front. That's Ethan Workman. How about that machine? The Yahoo number 23 up in front. He's got himself a good shot to go for a top 10 tonight. And it looks like we got a fan of the number 25 in chat. Great to see. Michael Cormetis has his fans tonight, and he's got a good run going to prove there's a reason to be a fan of this kid. Mikey going right through the corner. He's got himself going for a move 3 wide. He'll take it middle on Serrano and Workman, but does not look like he'll make the move just yet. Off a corner exit, Serrano does lose time, but Ethan Workman stays the same. Vincent Guecci holds the keys to the kingdom up front. He's going to be in 10th. Joe Reinhardt having a surprisingly good run. He is in 5th. And Joe Reinhardt's been a bit of a blank slate on this channel when it comes to how he can predict he does in this league. It's been tricky. He does have a win. He won Season 1 Auto Club, but ever since then, he's been a bit of a ghost figure in the league. Did not run full-time in Season 2. He's come back this year, but his first few runs have not been great. Right now, almost halfway in, he's running in 5th. Looking very good right now to maybe go all the way for a checkered flag. This could be the underdog finish that leads to the 78 machine becoming a bit of a contender. Nice to see the good run for Joe Reinhardt right now in this 78. The Grand Ginger in chat, thank you for stopping by. If you got a favorite driver, be sure to root for them in the chat room. Love to have all the fans of these drivers here putting together good runs. James Thurston, how about the run he's putting on though? Facing all the PBR pressure, he still got himself up front for good reason. 45 laps in, and he's going to be able to keep that lead. Not too far back, though, James Bomar is, and Bomar really wants to put it to him. He'll go up high, make it a second lane working, and it now seems to be James Bomar going up high with his teammates. Teamwork trying to make the dream work once again. Jacob Wilkerson, the hotshot rookie in the 43, right up there as well, and these two drivers looking to make a dream team of sorts. They go right by the number 4. They'll lose the power up in front of having that draft, but they'll gain the positions they need. Joe Reinhardt now battling with Sean Rowe. Reinhardt going to take it down to the bottom side. It looks like Sean Rowe tries to stick with his teammates, but that number 78 machine has himself a bit of a run. Not enough though, a bit too small. Jordan Herring with a fan in the chat right now, and Jordan Herring right now running in the 15th spot, make that 16th as he battles side by side. Love to see the fan support for Miggins, great to have you here. And Slinky running for the 2 from the FANA Cup Series, the 25 and the number 63. Another 25 fan of the Grand Ginger, and right now Kaloff is in 7th with Michael Cormetis. They're in 9th. Great to always have the FANA Cup Series fans out in droves. They love to support their favorite driver, Michael Cormetis, and he's ran very well so far in his limited attempts in this league. Last week, 3rd place at Sonoma, and tonight he's running 9th right now. He's got Kenny Reel going down to his bottom side. Cormetis has looked as good as a top 5 driver tonight, but it looks like right now he's not in that main pack. Give him some time though. I'm sure he's going to be able to make something happen and get right back up with them. James Thurston facing pressure, facing a lot of trouble here with Joe Reinhardt and Sean Rowe, but it is that number 43 of Wilkerson who now is second to Sean Rowe's teammate in James Bomar. Bomar's up in front, and now it's going to be the 0-20 leading the way. 48 laps in, trying to take him down to the halfway point, looking for a halfway bonus. The only bonus he'll get is a bragging right or 2, and of course, that track position. It is crucial and beneficial to have track position as a race gets later and later in the going. For Bomar, of course, he knows this. He's an experienced iRacer, but in this league, he's never experienced the way it works out when it comes down to later portions of the races. Drivers here, they get aggressive and they will get there quick. Tempers may flare at the end of the day, but the thing about that Bomar machine, he has his teammate in PBR help him out so he won't have to worry all too much about facing the field alone. The driver who does have to worry about that, though, is James Thurston. Wilkerson, while that time by, will stay green, no big issue. Henry Kalof's in fourth, and the 63's making big moves. Look at this kid in the 63 going forward. Rookie stripes for a driver we have not mentioned all too much just yet, and it looks like his Sonoma race was not a fluke. He's running in fourth right now, looking really good to take the podium places, and Ross Corlett right now in sixth, looking to go down to fifth. The PBR dominance might be broken up as Thurston's now going to be in second. 50 laps in, they'll take it down to 50 laps to go as they come down to the stripe here and now. It's going to be Thurston barely losing that lap lead. It's Bomar who gets it. Make it 50 laps remaining. Side by side, the top two guys are going to be James Thurston going to be able to take that lead. Nice and smooth. It's a delicate process, but you just have to make it work in a situation like this if you're Thurston. James on James up in front with a Jacob in third. Bomar, Thurston, they're first and second, and it looks like Thurston's got a good run to go for it. James Thurston, nice and easy, takes it in, and it looks like he'll be able to make himself a leader at the line. It looks like, though, Bomar gets it right back. 49 laps remaining as the sun continues to set here in Kansas. And now, Henry Kalof lays back in fourth. Ross Corlett, not too far back, is going to be in fifth. Then Joe Reinhardt gets put up in the wall there in the sixth spot. The drivers, after that point, they are spread out, but they are close enough to maybe make some moves on each other. Reinhardt is with Max Molina, and it looks like Max Molina now going to be able to get by Joe Reinhardt with Michael Cormenis being brought through as well. 25 goes up high, 45 drops down low, and the 23 and Ethan Workman stays right there with him as we ride on board. Ethan Workman blinks out as soon as he wants to, but here's a look from the Workman machine. And he's going to continue blinking out, so how's about we check out Vincent Guecci right behind. Guecci now getting closer and closer to this battle as we go across the American Ethanol backstretch. You can see he's just using that high side for the momentum purpose, of course, but there's another thing he might not be thinking about right now. Tire wear. He's going to get in the wall that time by, no big issue. He'll keep on going. Tire wear will become a big thing for these drivers to keep out for as the race goes on, and especially if we don't see many more major incidents. Right now, many drivers looking good to maybe go all the way, and with that in mind, you got to think about your tires and how these things are heated. If you overheat your tires, the rubber will begin to fall off. You're losing grip, you're losing speed, and if you push it a bit too hard, you're eventually going to find yourself on a wrecker. So these drivers are now having to manage their tires, manage their equipment, and mind their business in multiple ways. Of course, be aware of the drivers around you, but be aware of yourself. There's a lot more that meets the eye when it comes to being the driver alone. You're usually racing the drivers and the track, and right now, racing the track might be the big thing as they come across again. 55 laps in, James Thurston has himself a lead with Jacob Wilkerson not too far back, and James Bomar there in third. 46 laps remaining, and as it stands, it is going to be a huge battle up front, but it is a strong out one. Many drivers, just not a lot of close racing, at least at the moment. They have not decided to go all aggressive about it just yet, but we'll see whether or not they choose to put on the aggression signal and go for it. Right now, though, it looks like patience has been pivotal. Nobody going to risk it too early, and as we go through it time and time again, point standings, you might be thinking about them. How's about we show them to you for the first time on broadcast this year? It is a big points battle already ensuing. Two drivers locked into your playoffs later in the season, Andrew Cootie and Jacob Wilkerson. From there, we got guys like James Thurston battling for it, Ross Corlett, Joey Stone, and rookies, veterans alike, all going forward. Your favorite drivers might be in that mix. Michael Cormenis ran his first race last week. He's already in the top 25 picture. Mason Moriarty missed the last few races. He may be a substitute driver next week, so keep an eye out for that. Drivers coming in for the first time and drivers coming out. Many will come through the leaderboard, but the guys who stay up front, they will be known as the season goes on. Cootie and Wilkerson already locked in. Rest of your field and rest of the season is still an unknown. As we go by, once again, let's keep it going. It's now going to be 43 laps remaining, and it is the number 4 of James Thurston now leading the way over his competitors and adversaries in the 43 and the number 91. Bomar's going to be in the 4th now, and Henry Kalof is in 5th. Ross Corlett has made it up to third once again, and another big run for the 91 machine in Ross Corlett, looking for back-to-back podiums on the night. That would be fantastic for his cause. He ran very well at Sonoma, running a 3-car battle last time we went racing. It was between himself, Sean Rowe, and Andrew Cooney. Big wreck! It's going to be Kaloff. It's going to be a lap machine. Big wreck indeed. Thurston's caught out, and we've got ourselves trouble. 42 laps to go, and it's a lap machine involved. My, oh my, this is unforeseen. Let's take a look on back and find out what happened. 42 laps remaining, and your leader in James Thurston catches up to lap machine Michael Deitch. This is what happens. And you can see he's going down low. He gets squeezed up there and takes the 57. 57 runs him up there, and then Kaloff smashes into him. Takes Cormetis for a ride as well. Sean Rowe involved. This is heartbreaking to say the least for a lot of competitive drivers. Michael Deitch there, I'm not sure what he was thinking. I think that's going to lie on him if there's any responsibility. That's a lap machine involved and interfering with your leaders. 27 laps down as is. I don't know what was going on. We're going to get an instant replay again and trying to look at it from the rear view perspective of that number 57 Deitch involved big. And just like that, we've got ourselves trouble on the racetrack. Unforeseen yellow flag. Lap machine involves himself with the leaders. Here's what happens. Let's take an onboard look. And your leader of James Thurston going by gets up there and makes contact. And at this point, drivers are rushing into the scene. Kaloff gets destroyed. And Michael Deitch done and done as well. At that point, there's nothing more you can do as drivers run by. Brandon McNeil coming into the scene, one of the many coming through. And the driver who had such a dominating grip over this race is done again. It's a heartbreaker, and for the second week in a row, James Thurston faces the same situation. Oliver Quinney scores your leader. Now Wilkerson down on pit road as we got ourselves a race on pit road again. Can't believe it. Jonathan Leisure, Muggs in chat. It's a heartbreaker for many drivers. And that's going to be Thurston's day, I believe, as they come through. Jacob Wilkerson wins the pit road race over James Bomar and Ethan Workman. I can't believe that one. Joaquin Stewart, the admin, certainly not going to be happy right there as we see a huge hit involving a lap machine and a leader. We are going to see some words after this one. That is for certain. Whether or not it's going to be anything major depends on how these drivers and admins feel after this one. Certainly a decision going to be made in due time. 43 machine of Jacob Wilkerson leads the way, and now James Bomar not too far behind. A huge hit and 40 laps remaining as we see many drivers trying to get their lead lap status back. Now, a lot of drivers have their races in jeopardy after that moment. Max Molina going to be in 6th, able to gain just a bit after that point. So Molina might be one of the guys who benefited the most. Up in the top 5 all over again. Still looking for his first win of the season. And he's looking to hop on that trend that Andrew Cooney started about defending wins. He defended his second race of the season win with Sonoma. Now Molina wanting to defend the third race of the season and make it his own once more. With Thurston out of the picture, it's going to be PBR guys up in front without a doubt. So maybe different landscape gives these different drivers an opportunity to shine against their competitors. Maybe enough of an opportunity to go for lead and make something happen for the win. Remains to be seen. Nevertheless, a huge hit up front for Oliver Quinney. It's a huge hit in a positive sense for him. A horrible hit for James Thurston. And Quinney stays up in the top spot with Wilkerson now in second. 62 laps in, 39 laps to go. If you've been with us so far, thank you for stopping by. We are surely far from over here on FTN. It is a hard hit for Michael Deitch, Greg Kaloff, and James Thurston, as I believe we're going to see our 6th restart of the night. And now we got ourselves trouble on the circuit for James Thurston, who was leading this race. I'm not going to say winning per se, but he certainly had a lot of competition to go through that would not involve a lap machine. Now, a hard hit gives many more drivers a chance to succeed that was not seen before. It's now Jacob Wilkerson, your leader again. He's your driver who's been running oh so well as the pole sitter. He wants to get the checkered flag for his own, so keep an eye out for this kid. It's the rookie up in front again, James Bomar in second. So it's going to be rookies first, second, third, and your defending champion is 4th. Big recovery for Joey Stone. Know he's got a lot of fans from his kick broadcast tuning in tonight, and he's now running in 7th after being as low as 31st earlier in the going. So great job for Joey Stone to pick that momentum back up from his last race at Sonoma. He was able to recover a lot of spots from this very early setback he saw in the race, and now finds himself in the 8th spot as he goes down low. Looking good so far for the Joey Stone machine. Maybe more to be seen as the night goes on. Jacob Wilkerson, though, looking to see himself to the lead spot as the 43 only has 38 laps to go until it all comes down to the checker. It is going to be a huge win for Wilkerson if he gets it done for his 2nd tonight. However, for him, just running up front has been exactly what he's needed for his point situation. Now, let's go at it once again. Restart number 6, Bomar and Wilkerson. Restart once again. Let's go at it. PBR guys are going to be all in the podium. Wilkerson has himself a lead with James Bomar not too far behind. There in 2nd. Going to be a big shuffle off the corner. Going to be one driver going in. Alex Jones makes contact with Andrew Cootie. Another wreck going to be involved with Dylan Poss, and we got ourselves a huge wreck. Joseph Lewis involved as well. Andrew Cootie still sliding and slipping around. Andrew Cootie was. We need another instant replay, it appears. Let's find out just what happened. This is going to be caution number 7. 36 laps to go. Cautions breed cautions. Let's take a look back to the 9 machine and see what caused this wreck as Cootie splits some 3. Got himself a shot to go for it. He does get... Oh, he gets loose on the number 2. Catches Alex Jones. Dylan Poss spins as well. Vincent Guecci taps Andrew Cootie. And Joseph Lewis goes spinning as well. Zach Todger barely avoids. Cootie's day appears to be all but done. He'll tow it back down to pit road. Beaver Serrano involved, another who's who of a wreck, and another major incident involving the good majority of the field. Jacob Wilkerson leads, and for those tuning in, a huge wreck going to bring us back to the yellow flag condition all over again. 65 laps in out of 136 laps remain, and the race is so far from over it isn't even funny at this point. It's unbelievable. After a wreck involving a lap machine and your leader, we've got ourselves a whole different race, that's for certain. As Wilkerson leads Bomar and Ethan Workman. Now, 35 laps remain, and we've got ourselves big shift in the picture. The night sky, it is full on now. It is the sun continuing to set. The 43, knowing the pavement getting cooler, the track temperatures, they are dropping. More grip might be in play for these drivers. But right now, the grip might not even be in the conversation. With such small green flag runs, you don't have to worry all too much about your tires. It simply seems like right now, you got to worry about keeping your car in one piece, which is important all the same. But in a situation like this, so many drivers, it becomes even more important. If you end up on a wrecker, you'll know it's going to be just about all your points gone. So many drivers entering just won't work out for you. You get caught up early or late. We still have just about 30-some drivers on the track, so if you get caught up in a wreck, you might fall down a few laps, but you have a chance to at least outlast like 10 drivers. But if you do go down more than like 10 laps, 10, 15, you'll be out of the top 30. That's a lot of points lost. James Thurston, another heartbreaker. He's scored in 31st right now. I think his night is over. Not much more can be said or done for the man in that number 4 machine. This looks like another race that's going to go to waste, even if he was so quick and led quite a few laps once again. 2nd straight race for James Thurston, where he leads over 5 laps because Sonoma, smaller race, only 40 laps, so over 5 laps, sort of the benchmark there. Leading over 5 laps, leading quite convincingly, and getting wrecked again. Just a heartbreaker for the number 4 as he now finds himself scored in 31st. Andrew Cootie now scored in 30th. Jacob Wilkerson is your leader. Nonetheless, it's your leader from pole, leading the way 2/3 of the way in. Now the final countdown is truly in effect, and it's Wilkerson who wants to bring it down to the checkered flag. Going down the American Ethanol backstretch, time is of the essence, and time is running out as we look to restart at lap 69. Tornado Alley 150 has been a blast so far. Far from complete. It's Wilkerson, Bomar, and then The Max Molina machine in fourth. Ethan Workman stays there in third. The best run Workman's had this season by a wide margin. The Yahoo number 23 machine up front on that podium. And even though he had some internet issues early in the season, it looks like right now, for the most part, they've been alleviated. He's now good to run competitively without any hesitation, any interruption. And now it's going to be a new season with a new picture, of course, with drivers like Workman working out those issues in the real world, becoming bigger threats in the virtual scene. 68 laps in, 33 remain, and we will head to the green flag next time by. The Workman machine right now going to be in third. The 43 still in first. Rookie Stripes lead the way up front of the podium. Max Molina fourth, and Kenny Reel, a veteran looking for his first win, there in fifth. Kenny Reel, don't count him out. He's moved up this far. Only a few more spots remain. They're the hardest to get, but there's still quite a major chance. Now the 11 goes down low as Max Molina going to go up high, and Jacob Wilkerson stays bottom feeding. James Bomar going to be there in second with Ethan Workman in third. And Max Molina, position number 4, finds himself right with drivers in the front of the pack. Now we've got ourselves a total of 23 drivers on the lead lap for sure. Zach Todger has just advanced the lead lap. He'll make it 24, but very few drivers with a chance to go home a winner compared to what we started with. 38 drivers registering for the race. Joe Reinhardt a penalty, but nonetheless, we're back on the case. 7th restart of the night, led by Jacob Wilkerson. Green flags out, led by the 43. .31 laps to go, a huge wreck here, and this brings us down to another yellow flag. We took an instant replay on the matter. This is your 7th restart of this race. Joey Stone, contact there with the Ross Corlett machine and Kenny Reel, all making contact with one another, shuffling 3 wide, and immediately 69 laps in, not a nice wreck, and they're back down pit road once again. Heartbreaker, as now even more drivers find themselves out of winning contention. 71 laps in, it's been hard up front, hard in the back of the field. Every driver facing their own sort of struggle, and the Tornado Alley 150 will not die without a fight. Another incident involving some front runners, and this one involving guys inside the top 5 in Kenny Reel, and guys in the top 10, including Michael Cormetis and Joey Stone. So certainly this race holds no prisoners. It will find anyone throughout the track and take them out. Now we've got a much smaller group ahead, and they've only got 30 more laps to go at it, particularly led by the 43. Jacob Wilkerson has held fort all throughout this race, and now keeps himself up there in the top spot. The Tornado Alley 150 sees your leader remain in place. Ethan Workman's now in second, James Bomar's in third, and Max Molina is in a fourth. It's Rowan fifth. Brandon Rismiller has been able to gain a lot of spots and gain himself all the way up into sixth. Jordan Herring now in seventh. Michael Cormetis' communication issue, it looked to be minor, and well, it looked like he disconnected from the session. Now back in eighth. Keep an eye out on Cormetis, though. He has been involved in many race-setting incidents, not through wrecks, through his internet or his hardware failing him, so it would not be out of the ordinary if that were to happen once again. Now, Michael Cremenis up there in 8th, Xana Prestige in 9th, Ivor Serrano in 10th. It's Wilkerson who still leads the way. Rest of the field stays behind him, and they've been behind him for quite some time, just pacing. Only a total of 24 drivers on lead lap going back to Joey Stone. Stone is still there, and the number 8 machine for kick streaming puts a kick back in the motor and gets it back on the way. He looks to go down to pit road to get more damage repaired. James Thurston looks to still be going. 7 laps down, the damage is on that right side. As we take a close-up drone shot, it's still there, but he'll try to drive it out and get some more bonus points. Make sure his night is not over. Wilkerson leads them, and the 43 not been stopped in quite some time. The moment James Thurston wrecked, it became the 43's race all over again. Taking a look at this one. Now, 29 laps remaining. The Tornado Alley 150 will restart with a total of only 27. It's going to be a very small window of time for these drivers to get it done. Out of a total of 100 laps, it just seems like Jacob Wilkerson, the guy to get it done, at least for the moment. His teammates are now slowly but surely slipping back, and that number 43 machine has himself a good lead, maybe to take all the way. Ethan Workman, we're not quite sure how good of a threat he'll be in the long run. We haven't gotten one just yet, but in the case we do, we could see another driver rise up to the occasion, fight for a victory in a manner we have not seen out of most of these guys, including that 23 in his own right. Now they'll go down to the choose cone once again. It looks like it's going to be Workman choosing to stay up high. Wilkerson goes down low. Bomar going to go down low as well. And it looks like James Thurston wiggles right through to get another lap back. It's now the 4th spot held up high by Max Molina. Ethan Workman there in 2nd. Sees Jacob Wilkerson still lead him. And we will get back to the racing with the green flag flying with only 27 laps to go. It is Wilkerson up in front of this show, even still, as we come down to what I believe will be your 8th restart of the night. Let's get back at it once again. The Tornado Alley 150 right back on the road here in Kansas, and it's going to be Jacob Wilkerson leading them once more. The big question now is whether or not they remain a green flag from here on out. Now, it looks like they are able to get through that first half lap. No, it's going to be an incident again. Dylan Paz involved in another one, and that might bring out the yellow flag. It's a shuffle, and yes, it does. Dylan Paz with a violent turn back up the track brings out another yellow on the circuit. Let's get an instant replay, find out what happened. It's another, and this will be your 9th yellow flag of the night. Dylan Paz in the number 12 brings out the caution here in Kansas, and it's going to be the 73 who gets involved. That's Oliver Quinney. Quinney right behind him. Then Vince Guecci taps Dylan Paz. Paz runs up to Daniel Krim, and it all goes down in that order. The number 12 hits the 71, a violent return up the track. We've got ourselves another yellow flag. The Tornado Alley 150, and that is going to be yellow flag number, I believe at this point, 9. It's been dicey from the remainder of the way. It looks like after the halfway point, it's just gotten to be a bit too intense for these drivers. And James Thurston, one of the drivers, a casualty. Now it looks like Dylan Paz is one of them as well. And it is the driver in the number 43, Jacob Wilkerson, who leads the way. Not much have changed up in front. Brandon Rismiller slightly fades back to 8th. But the top 10, for the most part, is the same bunch of drivers we saw before. So keep an eye out for all these drivers ahead of the top 10 line. They've still got an opportunity, but they'll need a green flag run if they want to make it stick. Simply looks like we have not gotten enough green flag time to indicate who would be the best on the final stretch. Not sure just yet who that will be. It's a bit of a mystery ahead of us. And we see more drivers getting their laps back. Right now, gunning it is James Thurston, and so is Robert Lapierre in the 0-2. Pierre going to be on the move in the Second Chance Toys machine. He will try to get himself back up on that lead lap, as James Thurston is only 3 laps down now. He should be able to come back up with the leaders if He gets enough time, this yellow flag. Kenny Reel now back on the lead lap in the number 11. He's back on the way. And Joey Stone now scored in 20th as they're all down on pit road, except for Jacob Wilkerson and the few drivers he keeps right there with them. 19 going back to Brandon McNeil out of a total of 38 drivers registered. Still a total of 31 drivers racing and a total of 34 within the scoring zone, which means Michael Deitch still on track is 34th, but he is the 31st and final driver still racing at the moment. So keep an eye out for him if he gets back up on the track. Unlikely, but still possible, as Wilkerson leads him in once again. 24 laps to go. We should be going back green. This time by, it's going to be a short and yellow flag to get them back racing. It is your 9th caution of the race. It has certainly been a different pace than we expected. Master Cookie and chat rooting for Xander Prestige, great to have you here. And while he is the number 1 on our end, it looks like he's the number 5 in terms of the timing and scoring. So he might have a new look coming soon. Xander Prestige with a fan tonight in the top 10. Doing very well so far. Keep an eye out for the Xander Prestige machine. Great to see fan support for the man in this Chevy Camaro. If you got a favorite driver in mind, be sure to leave him a chat in the chat room below. A lot of our drivers tend to go watch the broadcasts back after the races, so they'd love to see the fan support. I know that for certain. Talk to a lot of these guys on a day-to-day basis. They love the support the fans are always giving them. If you got a favorite driver, subscribe to the channel and let them know every week. They'd love to see you in the chat rooms. 24 laps to go this time by, and the Tornado Alley 150 will make it restart number 9. It looks like now, right before we hit the double digits, we could get this one the rest of the way under green. Unlikely, it's still possible. Let's get right back at it once again, led by Jacob Wilkerson and Sean Rowe. Green flags out once more. And Jacob Wilkerson able to pull ahead that time by. Now 23 laps to go. Very little time before we get to it. But with 22 to go, as always on FTN, it looks like we've got a bit more time to get in our crank it up for the day. Or do we? Nope, we don't. 23 laps to go. Yellow flag, number 10. A big hit for Ethan Workman. And the driver who remained in second for oh so long now finds himself on a wrecker. A quick switch, another yellow flag. That's your 10th of the night. Let's see what happened to the number 23 machine right there in the middle of the screen. He has another driver involved with him, and it looks like he blinks. Then Cormetis doesn't see him. He comes back into reality and hits Joe Reinhardt as well. That is tough. Michael Cormetis not in a position to be able to know where that man is right ahead of him. So that's a bit harder to tell whether or not there's anyone at fault in reality. I'll take an instant replay once again from Cormetis' perspective. Maybe there's something we can tell looking from here. And Cormetis working his way through in that 25. He's got Workman ahead of him, but then Workman disappears. And at that point, nothing more you can do. Driving right through is the only choice you have in that situation, so an internet issue brings a yellow flag, and as we said before, Workman worked out most of his internet issues. It looks like one comes back to bite him and sends him out of contention once again. It's been Jacob Wilkerson's night. It just seems to stay that way as another driver falls victim to an incident, and your 10th yellow flag of the day brings out another holding period. The yellow flag is out. 21 laps remaining. This race has been at a standstill for at least the last 20-odd laps. Drivers going by to get their lead lap status back, and this is dicey. We got many drivers causing the same incidents over and over again, but for those watching tonight, good news, we might have a good solution in mind. Have a truck series in the FORL situation, of course, is a lot of drivers showing up, not a lot of drivers who have experience in the league, and that might be a bad thing for those who are veterans. So you know what we're doing? Starting a truck series. The FORL Truck Series will begin as a merger between the FORL entirety, the Flat Out Racing League in its entire essence, and the SDRL League, which we broadcasted once before, the Spoiler Diecast Racing League. They are merging with FORL and now making a new entity. It's the Truck Series, and the plan is to send drivers from the Cup Series who are brand new with lesser experience to the Truck Series and eventually work it out. Make better drivers, make more competitive races, and eventually, if drivers prove to be ready for the Cup Series environment, they will be given an opportunity to race back with the best of the best here up front. Then, with more competitive racing with fewer yellow flags. And this race has blown the yellow flag marker out of the window this season. Your first 2 races where points paying had only 1 yellow apiece. This race has had 10, so more yellows than we would hope to see, that's for certain. But it looks like we'll be going back green with 19 laps to go. When we go back green, we will have our Crank It Up immediately begin to make sure we at least get it in for our amazing sponsor and partner of the FTN YouTube channel, Track Cams for Gourmets, or TrackCams22.com. Track Cams for Gourmets, providing high-quality iRacing camera packages for over 100 cars and tracks, all of the combinations you require for all your broadcasting needs and all your individual needs, photography, broadcasting, replays. If you just want to watch them back for your own, the best way to do it is with Track Cams for Gourmets, the highest quality iRacing cameras on the service. If you'd like to check them out, be sure to check out the link in our description at TrackCams22.com or check out their Facebook. Track Cams for Gourmets should bring up the link if you want to learn more about this incredible product. Usually we crank it up with 22 to go, but since we did not have that lap as a green flag wrap, we will crank it up now with 19 laps remaining, courtesy of our friends at Track Cams for Gourmets. 10th restart. Let's crank it up live on FTN. And that's not going to happen. 11th yellow flag is just flown. So we'll push back to crank it up attempt. We see an immediate wreck with Daniel Krim involved, and they're still wrecking, but Joe Reinhardt, namely, looked at the guy involved at the first point. Instant replay, another yellow flag, and this will bring us big time trouble. And now as we look at it, Joe Reinhardt was in the mix, so let's find out what brought out this caution to begin with. That Todger, contact with Reinhardt, takes Xander Prestige, big hit there, takes the workman machine, takes Connor Zola, Daniel Krim, and Henry Kaloff, and that's a mess again. 11th yellow flag, 19 to make it 18 laps to go as we send it back live. A huge disaster once more as another set of drivers go around, and for the count, 4 drivers are going to be out of winning contention. Keegan Doherty just retired, 18 laps remaining, and James Bomar just barely gets the lead from Jacob Wilkerson. That's the first lead change in over 25 laps. Now we see another yellow flag come through. It's been back to back to back to back at this point. 11th restart of the night, and certainly not the way we'd love to see it happen after such a successful first 2 races. Green flag action all throughout. A lot of yellow flags in the second half of this race, and we're running out of time to even get a finish on our way, so not quite sure what we're going to see from this point onward, viewers. This could end up being yellows the remainder of the way. That could be the last one. It all depends on how these drivers race it. Aggression definitely has turned up, but that's not always a good thing. And this is showing exactly why that's the case. Drivers are running a bit over their head right now with such little time remaining. They want to win the race, and they want to win it a bit early. Shows that more drivers are pushing as hard as they can to get that lead. Nobody able to maintain the cars being clean. We've got ourselves yet another caution period. James Bomar, 17 laps to go, is still up front as your leader. Jacob Wilkerson is second, and Sean Rowe is in third. It's Maximilian fourth, and Jordan Herring in fifth. Your top 4 drivers, they are all PBR affiliated. And then the independents go fighting. Herring fifth, and Michael Cormetis in sixth. 17 laps to go. We're going to push back our crank it up to one final attempt as we only saw a few hundred feet of racing that restart. 11th restart of the day coming this time by after your 10th. This one has been rough. I'll tell you this much. Bomar involved with this yellow flag. Well, he wasn't. Getting my tongue twisted up, but he would love to just keep it up in front and not be involved. It's been a tough one for the drivers up in front to just hold fort, wait, not race. And NASCAR Fan 22 in chat looking to be a supporter of Michael Cormetis, Zevel as well. Great to see all the Mikey fans coming out. Let's go 25, the rallying cry here. Thank you all for your support. Means the world to have you here as we get this one going. First stream after 1,000 subscribers. The fan support has been immense. So thank you all greatly for coming out. Michael Cormetis, I'm sure he'll be able to thank you all after the race. Looking very good so far as we've hit 1,012 subscribers. We're looking real good tonight, I'll tell you this much. So we thank you all dearly for the support that you have given us time after time on this Channel. It is all about that number 20 machine of James Bomar up in front, leading the way, and he's looking to bring it home as a race winner. Maybe he's got a chance to do so for the first time. Sean Rowe wants that chance as well. He might have to take it from his teammate if push comes to shove. 15 laps to go this time by. That's what it's all going to come down to this time around, and it looks like they've got a chance to make it work. Bomar now coming through as the leader with 15 to go. We'll crank it up one final time here, and now as we lost our first two chances, make it 15 laps to go as we crank it up with the best cameras on iRacing, courtesy of TrackCams22.com. Restart 11's on its way. "11 laps to go, and the night is young here in Kansas Speedway. It is on up in front. We've got ourselves a huge battle between the PBR drivers and Wilkerson Bomar, and look who is in third. Michael Cormenis in the number 25. One of your fan favorites is up in front, and he's got himself a fan boost like it's Formula E. He's now up in third, looking to get up to the leading spot. He's got himself another good shot. Now it's going to be the 25 right behind Wilkerson. James Bomar has his teammates blocking him real well right now, and he's looking to come around as a race winner for the first time if he just gets through 10 more laps. For James Bomar, this would be phenomenal. He's got a chance to come home with his first race win, and he is one of the other powerful rookies that we have seen all throughout this season. For Jacob Wilkerson, he's already won, but you know, he's a competitive spirit. Even if his teammates are ahead of him, he does want to make that move and eventually find himself as a winner again. And Michael Cormenis, given the opportunity, he will certainly go and try to chase that win back once more. That is a given. Megan saying, "Jordan, don't die on me." Well, I tell you this much, Jordan is still fighting as hard as he can. The battle is still not over throughout the entirety of this field. It's going to be a huge battle throughout every piece of this circuit. Jordan Herring right now going to be scored in 6th. He's still fighting real well. Keep an eye out for him, and also keep an eye out for the man in that number 1 machine, who is the number 5 according to timing and scoring. Xander Prestige still driving well. 9 laps to go. We've got ourselves Brandon McNeil on the wall, but no big issues otherwise. 8 now. It's James Bomar leading the way right now, and the field is still chasing him down. Wilkerson going to be in 2nd, and Michael Cormetis is going to be there in 3rd. it still is far from over. It's going to be the James Bomar machine leading the way, but his teammates are not too far behind. If they want to make a move, they still definitely have a chance to. And now, as the field comes through lap after lap, time running out, you know aggression has to be at an all-time high for your leaders. No reason for these guys in the back to get really dicey, but no, the way these guys race, every position matters. And looking back in the field, you are sure of it. Double file all throughout. You can see Joey Stone able to race his way back into 11th. Joey Stone's had such an up and down night, as low as 31st on the track, as high as 7th on the track. He's been running his own race very well, but now, as time is running out, he just wants to make it back into that top 10. It's 6 laps to go so far. Looks like he's got a chance to do it. He's got Wesley Kutznoff not too far ahead of him, as they all come through time and time again. It's that 8 machine just trying to stay intact. Beaver Serrano with a phenomenal save back of the field. We stay green. That's exactly why Kenny Reel now goes down low on Stone. He'll try to make that pass stick easily. It looks like he's got a chance. Tire wear, it looks like Kenny Reel has the youngest set outside the top 10. Zach Todrov has the youngest tire set inside the top 10. They both have a 24-lap stint going at the moment. Bomar, though, 0.2 of a second. The advantage still remains. No move has been made on that number 20 so far. Bomar's got himself a shot to go all the way. Jacob Wilkerson not too far behind. He will not mess around. If push comes to shove, it could be another Wilkerson win. And now they are running out of time indeed. 4 laps to go this time through. Right on board with Michael Cormetis as he sees the lead battle right ahead of him. And shifting gears, you can hear it in that motor. He goes down to 4th gear, just trying to push all he's got of that engine. And Michael Cormetis takes it through in the 3rd position. 25 machine up on the high side, as the leaders are. Lap machine coming into frame. Maybe they're going to play a part of the picture. No, they will not. That's Henry Kaloff. Kaloff stays clean. We stay green. Make it 3 laps to go, and Wilkerson dives down low. He's got intentions to take this lead back, and he's driving a bit different now. He'll go down to the inside to the apron. He's quicker that time by than the other drivers in the top 3. There is a chance indeed that the number 43 goes to the top of the board. After all, Wilkerson make his first advance, trying to get up to the lead, and it looks like he'll stay back for now. Maybe he'll lie back until the last lap. That's the first advance, though. If there's any sign of taking that lead for his own, that might have been the first. Now make it 2 laps to go here in Kansas, and Tornado Alley has seen one hell of a race. It's been a twister, that's for sure. And James Bomar, looking to twist up the championship picture, finds himself the leader with only 2 laps remaining. In a lead that he got only after a yellow flag. Quick switch over. It seems like James Bomar has been able to maintain all the spots that he has got, and they're racing big. This could cause a yellow flag. 3 wide Joey Stone is with a number 32 machine and a number 4 of James Thurston. Thurston's now going for a top 10 despite the damage. Big run for Thurston as they come down the line and make it 2 laps to go. Now the leaders make it 1 lap to go. James Bomar in the number 020 coming around for his final time. He blinks out just a bit. It's no worry. He's got the lead as clear as day, and for a driver who's been looking to get into the playoff picture himself, where better than Tornado Alley to make it a big twist. James Bomar, he's gonna shake up the scene and win for the first time as a rookie. It's the number 20 who gets it done in Kansas Speedway and wins the Tornado Alley 150. It's James Bomar, a new race winner in the FORL Cup Series. Welcome to the show, James Bomar. Jacob Wilkerson 2nd, Michael Cormetis in 3rd. How about this race? Even if it was a bit of a wreckfest at the end of it, eventually the finish came around and these drivers, they delivered. Fantastic performance for Bomar as he burns it down for the first time in his young career. As James Bomar continues to burn down the house. How about a fantastic performance for the number 20 machine? That's a huge win for a driver who's so new to this league, and he's still celebrating this one for good reason. Teammates coming around, Wilkerson right there with them, and they're going to burn it down together. And a motor blown for the teammate there, and it looks like a despawned number 20 machine. It's a huge win for James Bomar, that's for certain, and the track is now empty. James Bomar, your race winner, and Kansas Speedway now finds itself empty for the final time we've seen racing this season at Kansas. It was a fantastic show. Nevertheless, how about it? We'll bring back some instant replay footage to show throughout the interviews as we get your final results on the screen in just a moment. James Bomar, a huge win, and from day to night it went. It's a huge transition indeed, and it looks like we just showed it to you there. Bomar burnt it down, and for good reason. Fantastic performance all throughout this race, and as we look through, the number 020, the 20 machine for all y'all, gets it done at the end of the day. James Bomar, a race winner. Let's show you your race results. And as we come around, the James Bomar machine is a winner for the first time in his career. No other way to describe it, despite the fact that there was so much in terms of on-track action. He came home victorious and came home alone on top. James Bomar wins his first career FORL Cup Series race right ahead of Jacob Wilkerson in second, the pole sitter, and Michael Cormetis in third. Max Molina going to be there in position number 4 with Sean Rowe in 5th and Ross Corlett in 6th as Zach Todriff comes home in the 7th spot and Jordan Herring makes it home in 8th. Going to be Kenny Reel in the 9th spot in the number 11 machine from 20th on the board. And then it is James Thurston from 10th to recover the 10th spot. It was a fantastic drive for him. Second in qualifying, but still a great drive nonetheless. Then we see Joey Stone 11th and Wesley Kutznoff in 12th. Dustin Pickle 13th and Brandon Rismiller in 14th. Alex Jones, position number 15. Then going to be Peter Serrano in 16th and Xander Prestige in 17th. Brandon McNeil going to be in 17th. And as we go back to those results, it was position 18 for Brandon McNeil right there with Vincent Gwetch 19th and Daniel Krim in 20th. From there on out, going to be Oliver Quinney 21st, Joe Reinhardt 22nd, Ethan Workman 23rd, and then one lap down, Chance Parker 24th, Dylan Paz 25th, Henry Kalanoff 26th, Connor Zola 27th, Joseph Lewis in 28th, and Robert LaPierre in 29th. Keegan Doherty comes home 30th with Andrew Cootie 31st, Thomas Johnson 32nd, Jackson Carr 33rd, Michael Deitch 34th, and Tyler Coleman 35th with Brody Tolsteika in 36th. Brandon Redford comes home 37th, and Ethan Dueldi comes home 38th. Bryce Hamrick 39th, and Joaquin Stewart rounding out your 40-car field. What a field it was. Stay tuned as we will have your interviews momentarily live on FTN. We're going to take just a minute to readjust and make sure your drivers are ready for an interview. James Bomar comes home a winner for the first time in his FORL Cup Series career. We'll be right back after this brief message from iRacing. If you want to join the fun on iRacing, here's a brief synopsis about what it's all about. We'll be right back. Thank you for your support so far. We'll return in just a moment.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And after this phenomenal race here in Kansas, it's James Bomar who comes home with his first career win in the FORL Cup Series. Another rookie and another victory. James Bomar out front all throughout this race, able to snag the lead. How do you feel after this one?
Like, I was really close to, but I'm looking at it. It was not close. Like, it was close, but yeah, it's crazy what the fucking air can do, though.
And hard-fought race all night long for the guys up front, but it got a bit slow at the end with the yellow flags there, so it looks like strategy changed. How was it for you managing the field all night long?
Okay. You still got third, right? Oh, wait. Hello?
And James Moore, do we got a copy?
I do.
But just wondering, how was it up front managing the field there at the tail end? Because it seems like we had a lot of yellows, but still, with the green flag runs came, you're still able to maintain that lead. What did it take to stay up front?
Keeping it out of the wall more than anything and not sliding it too much. Like, it was hard to keep out of the wall at the end of it because I'm trying to push so hard to stay ahead of Jacob because I know he's quick. I was sweating bullets at the end of that, to be honest. But I got it done.
Able to get it done, indeed. A great start to this whole season run that we believe you're going to be on, and another rookie to get it done for a first time full season. So what is the plan from here on out for you in the number 20 camp to come home in the playoffs as you're already locked in?
Keep racing like I just did tonight. Keep it top 10, qualify top 10, run top 5, get a good finish more than anything. Hopefully lead some laps.
And there we have it, James Bomar able to lead those laps tonight. Not much more to say after a finish here that was, of course, a bit more spread out, but a lot of close racing all throughout the way. Bomar, victory lane, the Tornado Alley 150. Anyone else you'd like to thank or any final thoughts after this win?
Thanks to PBR. Obviously, thanks to PBR team. Thanks for ECE. Thanks for Jacob, Sean, all of them guys for being fast and making me get faster. Thanks for Todd for being a great team owner. And thanks to Fireball Racing Warehouse for all the merch we have. Thank you.
And there we have it, James Bomar, a big win again for PBR, the number 20 machine on top for the Flying Pegasus, and the Mobile 1 machine is first. Thank you once again.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
And Bomar going to be on the move with his teammate Jacob Wilkerson, another rookie wonder up there in the second spot. The 43 runner-up tonight. Hard-fought battle all the way, but it seems like it just got away from you at the tail end. How do you feel after this one?
I feel pretty good after this race. Started pole, finishing second. That was a good point stay for me. And yeah, me and Bomar and Thurston were like the three drivers that were the most dominant the whole race. And it sucks that Thurston got wrecked out and got wrecked out of the battle. And it was just between me and James Bomar for the win. I thought I had enough for him. It's just my car was just really tight in the dirty air. And even when he got by me on that inside, the car was just really tight on the outside. And yeah, he was able to get by me and pull away to victory.
And the final few runs, not as long as you'd have hoped there, of course, with all the yellow flags. Do you think if we had a bit more time, you'd have a chance to make it happen for a win?
Yeah, I feel like if all those yellow flags didn't happen, it would have definitely gone down to like tire management. And if we did have like a good green flag run and then a yellow came out, we would have definitely pitted for tires. But yeah, yeah, that's just how the race went, I guess.
And there we have it. It is indeed the way it all went. Well, the thing about it is, for you, you can just look past it, look for another race as a winner already. Phoenix is up next. What's it going to take to go from 1.5 miles back to a more irregular track in Arizona?
I feel good going into Phoenix. I've ran there a few times, and I've actually had some good finishes there. So pretty excited to go into Phoenix and hopefully continue the top 5 streak.
And keeping that momentum was the big thing for Jacob Wilkerson, another top 5 second tonight here in the Tornado Alley 150. Any final thoughts? Anyone else you'd like to thank?
Thanks to everyone on Team PBR, Zach Todger, for giving me the opportunity to race for them. Maconi Setup Shop for building me a very fast Toyota Camry, and Burnt Rubber Racing Warehouse for all their merchandise.
And there we have it, Jacob Wilkerson, PBR 1-2 finish tonight with the number 2 spot occupied by the 43. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And it's going to be Wilkerson there in second, and the final man on the podium, back-to-back podiums, Michael Cormetis, making a case for a playoff run with consistency in mind. The Cormetis machine is third again. How do you feel after this race? A much different one in Kansas.
Yeah, it definitely was a lot different, David. A lot crazier than Sonoma, to say the least. But after what was avoiding 2 big accidents by just barely threading the needle, I had my confidence was boosted up with the less amount of cars in the field, and kind of annoyed by all the cautions, by just the back markers wrecking after every restart. But I guess it was a good. I guess I could say it was a good result after what was a tough day out there.
And able to make the best of it there, holding on for the podium. Now, it seems like for the guys up front, not able to make much of a pass at the end of the race. So it was mostly single file there at the tail end, but close all throughout. What do you think was your biggest chance of getting the win here? So it seems like we lost a lot of chances in laps at the tail end.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't, and definitely hard to pass. I saw, I don't know what lap this was, but off of turn 4, I saw them get into each other. And I had the opportunity to fly by around the outside, but I thought Bomar was going to block, so I tried the inside, and Wilkerson blocked my run, and that's basically what did it for me.
And it all came down to one small move there, and it made some big changes on the race, as it seems like from there, the number 25 machine just stuck with third. But either way, looking very good so far. Momentum has been building. Road course, able to make it work out very well for third, and another podium again, back-to-back, but you're still looking for that top step. What's it going to take to get up there at Phoenix?
Not getting wrecked, and also no BS penalties, because you saw me get sent to the back right before we went green, right?
Yeah, we saw that.
So, yeah, I got sent to the back for apparently hitting, quote unquote, hitting the choose cone, but I really did not touch the cone. I just got really close to it, and Joe Kwan, I guess he just made the call, just not even in a second, just to give me the penalty, even though I didn't even touch the cone, but got really close to it. And then the 78 in front of me after the penalty on the next caution obliterates the cone, and about 7 seconds later finally gives him the penalty. So, yeah, I don't know what the deal with that is, but I fought through adversity, and but glad to be in third.
Able to fight through adversity, pretty good way to put it for the Michael Cormetis machine, who makes it home in the third spot tonight in the Tornado Alley 150. Any final thoughts, Sarah? Anyone else you'd like to thank after this one?
Same thing as same people as I thank after every podium. My parents, for allowing me this chance.
And there we have it, Michael Cormetis, back-to-back third-place finishes in the FORL Cup Series. A much different race, but the same result for the 25 camp. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And Michael Cormetis going to be on his way, finishing in third as James Beaumont comes home with his first career victory in the FORL Cup Series in the Tornado Alley 150. A fantastic race all throughout as the number 20 machine comes home on the top of the board, and a great way to get it done here in Kansas. Got to thank all the viewers for their outpour of support tonight. Big numbers, and we thank you all dearly for making that happen. Fan support for the FORL Cup Series always great. Your favorite drivers, I'm sure they appreciate it as well. Once again, as always, I've been your host for tonight's broadcast, David Kreutz. We thank you dearly for your, of course, time here, whether you spent a minute or spent the entirety of the race. We'd love to have you next week as we go to Phoenix Raceway on the Wednesday night circuit. Tomorrow night on FTN, we will have the NASCAR Road to Pro qualifying iRacing series, Mid-Ohio. It's going to be fantastic. The best drivers in the best equipment going at it once again for a chance at $300,000 live in FTN. Stick around for that. It's going to be one exciting show. Thank you all for watching once again tonight. This has been a production live on FTN of the Tornado Alley 150, the third race in the third season of the FORL Cup Series. From our studios to your homes, we thank you dearly for your support once again and hope to see you all once again on FTN.